What's up, guys? Welcome back to Xbox Reforged, and we got that Xbox podcast today going over the future of the Xbox business, and I guess kind of trying to hit on those rumors that have been out for the past week or so about first-party titles going to other platforms. So I kind of want to hit on some of that here. Me and Joe, who created this channel, Xbox Reforged, have been talking a lot about this in the background, and it seems like we pretty much align on things here, both being huge Xbox fans since the original release of the OG and having every console and playing all the games since then. Kind of thinking about, the future of Xbox, where it's headed, and with this podcast, kind of, what did we get from it? Now, I've seen a lot of mixed opinions out there right now on this podcast and on the future of Xbox and their plans, and do people agree or disagree? There's definitely a lot of corporate speak in the podcast today. It wasn't the most entertaining. I guess a lot of people consider it pretty boring, but there was some information in there nonetheless, we can kind of go over a little bit. So let's kind of jump into it here. And I just want to talk a little bit about our opinion here on Xbox Reforged as to where Xbox is headed and kind of when did this all kick off. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first off, they did say 4 games would be coming to other platforms, but they wouldn't name which 4. Now, I think most people are in agreement that's probably like Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Grounded, and Sea of Thieves or something like that. So we'll see what goes on with that, but that's the theory anyway. And it would probably make sense that those are games that have been out for quite a while that could now potentially grow player base and bring in profit money from coming on these other platforms. So we'll have to see how that kind of pans out. Now, when asked specifically about Starfield and Indiana Jones, the answer was, I don't know if it was exactly straight no, but those games aren't going to other platforms right now. And I think these 4 games are probably the test games to see kind of how this goes. However, it's not the only games Xbox has on other platforms right now, especially with the purchase of Activision Blizzard and all that, and with Ori and other games. There have already been some cross things happening for a few years, and this is just kind of moving more in that direction, which has a lot of people scared that maybe more bigger exclusives are going to move over to other platforms. And we'll address my opinion on that here when we get more towards the end of things, and we'll get into that. But first off, the next thing I want to go over is hardware. So yeah, there's those 4 games unnamed right now, but we think we know what they are. And then a lot of people are wondering, like, will there even be any more Xboxes? And I've been saying, yeah, even if sales continue to dwindle on Xbox, it's going to be another way, just another option to play. You can play on Xbox hardware. You'll be able to play on other hardware if you want. Could be more handhelds in the future. You can already play on things like the Legion Go, the Steam Deck, the Ally, and stuff like that. Your PC, we're already kind of going everywhere. And with cloud, you can already kind of play games, Xbox games on PlayStation through the browser if you're a little tricky there. Yeah, there's already a lot of things kind of headed in that direction. But yes, what they say is there will be another console, and that it will be the largest technological leap that we've seen yet in the console generation. So I'm very curious to see how that pans out. Being a big PC gamer as well, the extra power is always great, but we got to see that utilized on the consoles as well. And I do think that's probably like a 2026 thing or so. That would be like 6 years into this Xbox. I don't think they need to worry about a Series X Pro or Series S Pro. I say let's skip that and let's go right into the next generation. And the rumor is that's probably what's going to happen in a couple years. So I'm all for that. Looks like we should be good to go at least for another generation anyway of Xbox hardware. And then you never know for sure where they're going to take the business from there. Okay, so like when did all this start for Xbox? And really, I've been kind of watching for this particular future of Xbox since 2016. And Phil Spencer did say in a podcast it's been almost a decade that they've been working on this new vision. And in 2016, that's also when we started seeing a turning point for Xbox and the takeover and the Project Scorpio and the One X. Getting the most powerful console. And then after they did that, we got into some other things that started laying the groundwork for where we are at now. And in 2016, they announced the Xbox One and Windows 10 cross-buy being a platform feature. So they were bringing all the Xbox games to PC, and whether you bought them on PC or Xbox, you owned them on both. And this was a big step. I remember me and Joe texting that day, this is awesome. We can buy the game on whichever one, because we were double purchasing games sometimes. And this was a really cool feature. And this was back in 2016, right around when I think the One X or whatever was coming out, and kind of was the first step. Then we go forward here, and we actually got into 2017 for Xbox Game Pass to launch, which, brought on another whole new way for Xbox to be a platform, another stepping stone to them developing a way to get games in more places, especially when it comes to cloud streaming. And then we go into 2020, which actually Project xCloud started in like 2019. There were some betas and other stuff, but like really coming out around the 2020 in September. We got Project xCloud, which was part of Game Pass Ultimate, and then you could stream games pretty much from almost like any device. And back then it was pretty rough and things didn't always necessarily work great. But now in 2024, even though it's still not the best cloud gaming out there by far, it does work for a lot of games, and it is another way to play anywhere. So this is where we went from, you know, just those few years to 2016 to 2017 to 2020 and 2019. And then in 2023, Microsoft announced a 10-year plan with other gaming companies, including NVIDIA, who has the top-tier best cloud gaming service that you can get with their Ultimate tier and works really, really well. They're bringing all their Xbox games pretty much there, at least for the next 10 years, which GeForce Now has quite a big player base, over 20 million, and they are definitely my favorite top cloud gaming service. I use it on the daily, and it's been a great place for me to play PC, Xbox games as well. So they've been laying this foundation for years, since 2016, to be able to get in and play your games absolutely anywhere. So the moves that are happening now for anyone that's been watching for the past 8 years really aren't a big surprise. So let's go ahead and, like, our console is going to continue. I think we'll see at least the next generation and maybe farther beyond that, honestly. It's just that there might be less in sales. I just think they're going to offer you more and more ways to play. Play on your PC. You can play through cloud gaming, streaming to almost any device, an app on your TV, your phone, whatever. You can play on your handheld PCs. If you want to buy an Xbox console, you could buy that, hook it up to your TV and get a great, easy experience on your TV, right? Because I think consoles will continue to be one of the easiest, best, like 4K HDR type experiences for a lot of people on the TV. So I don't think consoles are going anywhere, but I think Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, I think everybody's going to continue to expand. You need more consumers if you want to grow, and if you want to continue to get bigger and have more profit and build bigger games and more entertainment. You can't just stick with one console or one player base and not expand. And there's like over 2 billion gamers on the planet, and if you lock yourself into just one console, you're getting just such a small fraction of that. And Xbox moving to those PC releases at the same time, that probably helped them a good bit. It looks like Sony's talking about going to more multi-plat or PC releases as well. Helldivers 2 has been quite a success, hitting Steam and PlayStation at the same time on their exclusives, so that's been nice. And Nintendo has been expanding with their theme park stuff, movies. They've greenlit more movies. Mario was a big success for them. So everybody might do it in their own way, but expansion of these IPs and more ways to play your games in more places and enjoy your entertainment from these IPs, I think is going to continue to grow and move and become bigger and bigger to where everybody can really participate and enjoy these things no matter what, without having to buy just one type of box and set it under the TV or whatever. But anyway, as far as my opinion on this, I actually have a pretty positive take on it. If they're going to continue with all these options from cloud to console to PC to multi-plat, and hopefully increase profit, become bigger, and build Xbox as a platform, not a console, continue to build Xbox as a platform as big as they can, and hopefully deliver some fantastic games and really see it grow, I would be happy for that. In my opinion, this is all a much more consumer-friendly move than just sticking with the old archaic style console idea, exclusive, and sell boxes and sell that. I don't know. I just think that's a very old idea that has been changing for the past 8 to 10 years, and we're kind of getting to that point now. Just like we're getting away from physical games into digital, we got away from a lot of our movies that way to like Netflix and streaming and stuff. I think a lot of the future for gaming, like it or not, is probably streaming and less physical and more digital as well. Besides that, and also being able to enjoy these things in a lot more places and not being tied to one piece of hardware. I just think that idea is going away. But anyways, guys, that's our take here at Xbox Reforged. Make sure you let us know in the comments what yours is. Thanks a lot for coming to watch as always, and we'll see you in the next one.